Our perspective is that these events are unfolding in a certain pattern, which are all pointing towards another very big war. But the Judeo-Christian Zionist alliance, which has NATO as its military arm, are targeting Russia, and to the extent that China is allied with Russia, targeting China as well, in order to force their submission to the diktat of the Zionist rulers of the world. This has been a view which has been contested by many who consider nuclear war to be something not likely to take place. But yes, there can be wars, and we've already been having wars in the past, but not a nuclear war. Because in their opinion, nuclear war will be the end of the world, that there'll be no life after that in the world. We are of the opinion that not only will the nuclear war take place, and not only will there be great damage in the world, great destruction in the world, but that there is life in the world after nuclear war. Because the eschatological plan was for a ruling state to emerge in Pax Britannica, to be succeeded by a second ruling state, that is Pax Americana, and that there must be a third and a last ruling state, which would be Pax Judaica. Of course, the word Pax is a misnomer because it represents peace. But Pax Britannica and Pax Americana and Pax Judaica are not at all about peace, but about war and about lies. Our perspective is that Israel cannot rule the world when Israel is so small and the world is so big. Either that Israel must expand dramatically its territorial frontiers, or that the world must become smaller, must contract. And our view is that it is the second one, the second of the two possibilities that is now going to take place. That is, the world is going to become much smaller. The rump of the world, which will be left after nuclear war, would be manageable for Israel to establish her rule over the world. The second matter that we recognize from our Islamic eschatological perspective is that on the road that they are marching to eventual war with Russia, nuclear war, they are using every trick in the book to make it appear that they are themselves innocent, that they are not seeking war, and they want to put the blame on others. And they do so through something which is now recognized as a false flag, an act of terrorism, which they themselves plan and execute, and then put the blame for it on others. We become familiar with false flags. They used to happen more rarely, but since 9/11, they now are taking place very frequently. And our Islamic eschatological perspective, which I assume will not differ from that of other Abrahamic religions, is that the universe is constructed as a moral order, and that events cannot occur without consequences, because there is an intelligent God, there is a just God who is ruling over the world, and he knows all things. And the consequence that emerges from the Quran of false flag terrorism is that one day these false flags are going to come home to roost. And that is that those who are attempting to deceive mankind by committing acts of terrorism and then putting the blame on others will themselves eventually be deceived. And justice will be done on that day when they will say, well, we didn't do it. Horrendous acts of terrorism that are still to come. But at that time, mankind will blame them for it because they have paved the way for it with all their false flag acts of terrorism and their deception. And therefore those who today are seeking to deceive will eventually themselves be deceived. Our Prophet has informed us that there's going to be this great war, and that in this great war, 99 out of every 100 who fight in the war will be killed. Conventional war has never killed 99% of combatants. This has never occurred in history. And so there is a war which is coming which will be unlike any other war that mankind has ever known. We say it's going to be nuclear war, war with the use of weapons of mass destruction. Only that kind of war can kill 99% of combatants. Those who are listening to this interview must be aware, must be made aware, this is our duty to them, that such a war is going to disrupt food supplies and supply of water and energy. And if you are living in the big cities of the world, you will be facing a state of anarchy. That is for the remnant of mankind that survived the war. And so you should be preparing to leave the big cities and move to the countryside. Number two, that we should all, out of concern for our own selves and for our wives and children, we should all be stocking up on food and on water and on energy such as candles and so on. Food, I just went myself a few days ago and started buying canned food which can be preserved for some time. So preserve food which can be preserved. And that we should make a difference between water which is to be drunk, drinking water, and water for cooking, from water to be used otherwise, like washing dishes and so on, in the toilet and so on. And keep the drinking water preserved in glass bottles rather than plastic. We don't know what's going to happen when nuclear war takes place. What would nuclear radiation do to plastic? It is more likely that glass bottles might survive, and our water will still be there. Smaller bottles rather than bigger bottles. So if a bottle breaks, you won't lose 10, 15, 20 gallons of water. That we should also stock up on food and water and be able to at least survive for, I say, 3 months in the event of nuclear war. I was thinking that perhaps the war may take place in another year or so from now. But I want to warn that it may be earlier than that. It may be earlier than that. When we make these predictions, we always hope that we are wrong. We are happy when we are wrong. But to be fair to those who are listening to us and who have some respect for our judgment, we have to warn that it is possible that the war can be earlier than a year from now.